Stonebrook didn't grow overnight. It grew one decision at a time, and a few mistakes along the way. Arable fields keep the lights on. Animals bring opportunity and pressure. Production rewards planning and punishes shortcuts. Today isn't about expanding fast. It's about finding balance before the farm finds it for us. Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel and Courtright line. Winter is heading in, and Stonebrook feels different now. This isn't a startup anymore. It's a working system. Animals need attention first thing. Fields don't wait. Production keeps ticking in the background. Everything overlaps, and that's the reality of where we are now. One thing has become very clear, very quickly. Grass can't stay an afterthought. The farm shop helped early on, but they aren't a plan. If animals are staying at Stonebrook, grass becomes infrastructure. The question now isn't if we commit, it's how. Permanent grass brings stability. Rotation keeps flexibility. Both come with consequences. Therefore, we've decided to convert the alfalfa field to grass and have already begun the process of ploughing it. And while it appears okay for lime, we will give a spread either way. Certainly we'll need some fertilizer. Maybe the cow pasture can provide that. In line with this change to grass in field 41, we have made some changes to the equipment lineup. We've sold the McDons and associated headers and purchased 2 headers that can work with our forage harvesters. These will help us in collecting chaff quickly for silage. We will need some form of mowers for hay production and ultimately TMR, but we can address this again closer to the time. But for now, let's get down to the cow pasture and check on the animals. The numbers are still okay, but we will get another delivery of bales down, just to be sure. This may be the case for the immediate future, buying the necessary foodstuffs for the cattle, but the hope is this will keep them through the winter months till we get our first grass harvest. Let's head back to the cow pasture and load up. This should keep them until early spring. Hopefully at that stage, we may be looking at a milk delivery also. Now that we have the low loader down this far, may as well take a look at the soybean factory and see if there is any produce we could sell. A few pallets have spawned. As Mark said, we can avail of this early produce, and while it may not be the best time to sell, it is income for the homestead. From our time-saving stock check, we see that the train station is the best location at the moment for the smoothies. We'll head there and see how we get on. Blasted. Didn't realise that this location doesn't have a pallet drop-off point. Okay. Then we will look at the alternatives, as we will need to know this for future deliveries. Right. The only alternative for the smoothie pallet deliveries is the farmer's market. Must remember this for again. We'll get these delivered there and see what return we'll get. While the sale of the smoothies isn't huge, it's very welcome and all adds up. Right, let's get back to the yard and see what's next on the jobs list. Great, the ploughing is complete. Let's get the tractors cleaned up and start the covering of lime. We will go through the courseplay setup again for this field, just making sure the innermost vehicle on the headland starts first. Then we set it on a field to farm supplies auto drive return route to refill with lime if required. Now we can set the second tractor on the other side of the courseplay route and see them started. Now that they are underway, we take a look at a few quick contracts to keep the finance trickling in. We will take 2 of the cultivating contracts and the ploughing one on field 52. With the ploughing contract being the biggest job, on our arrival at the field we will set up a quick auto drive route around the field. It will help us direct the second tractor for the job down to the field and may be useful again in the future. Oops, didn't see that branch. Okay, we have to cheat a little here and use super strength to reset the tractor. Shh, you didn't see anything. We will get the other contract started and do a little cinematic on all 3 jobs. Here we are in field 63, cultivating. Likewise in field 46. And both tractors working on the ploughing. Altogether, the jobs will add up to a little over $100,000. With this in mind, we will pose a question to you before the video finishes. Collect on the first cultivating contract. And now the ploughing is finished. And finally, the last cultivating contract. Collect the remaining earnings and take a look at our reasonably healthy bank balance. Now that all the contracts are complete and the equipment is back in the yard, they will all need a thorough wash. We will do this off camera to allow us to pose the question to you, the viewers. If this were your farm, what would you do next? Do we consider fields 42 and 43 as additional grass or arable crop fields? Do we consider purchasing field 68 now and put sheep onto it? Would field 41 suffice for grass growth should we decide to increase our animal stock? Would a sheep pasture add value to the homestead? Or is that asking too much at this stage? Commit fully to grass and livestock? Cap animals and push arable efficiency? Or simplify before expanding again? Your comments genuinely shape where this series goes next. Stonebrook isn't losing money, but it is stretched. Animals add value slowly. Arable keeps things stable. Production multiplies effort, if it's supplied correctly. The risk now isn't failure, it's trying to do everything at once. Stonebrook is no longer fragile, but it isn't settled either. The next decision shapes the rest of this series. Okay folks, thanks for joining us in this episode. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment if there is anything you'd like to see in this series. Until the next time, take care.